2, 1. We're on.
In 3, 2, 1. Love not only begets love, it transmits strength. And we're back.
I have no idea what that was. What is that?
I had to get my pedantic, artsy-fartsy quote out of the way.
Dude, if you're going to start that, we shouldn't even do this podcast because you've been acting a little weird lately.
I'm deep into this great book right now, man. For those, we're going to talk shop, of course, coming up. But real quick, A Severe Mercy, great book recommended to me by the great Peter Kreeft. Not recommended to me personally. I watched one of his YouTube videos, and he recommended the book. So if anybody's, this quarantine pandemic looking for a good book to read, Severe Mercy, really good. Go check it out. The author is Sheldon Vanauken, A Severe Mercy. Had to get that line out. It's true, though, because it says love not only begets love, it transmits strength. And that's what I'm trying to do with this podcast, the G For Guzman Podcast. I'm trying to transmit strength to all the viewers, it's going up a little, went from 2 to now 4 viewers, all right? So we're back.
That was a coincidence.
The motherfucking saga continues for the G For Guzman Podcast, all right? We've been taking a little hiatus. We've been slacking. I'll be honest, I've been slacking. Life's catching up, the real world, work, all this busy, BS that encompasses your daily schedule.
Because I don't want the audio to mess up.
What's up?
Pick that mic up more.
Like this?
Yeah. And when you're talking to the mic,
I
feel like it's going to echo because you're talking so loud. This guy you talk so loud, it like echoes in the room, man.
I can't help it.
When I go back and edit it, it's like it echoes.
I'm sorry. What? Echo? Earth Echo? Great movie.
No,
Great movie.
I don't know. There's some people who have like that voice that they're not talking loud, right? Like they're talking normal.
Yeah,
but
I'm using my inside voice right now. I'm using my inside voice, but I'll try to tone it down a little bit.
It's powerful. Not just you can hear it.
Yeah.
Not that it's like, because there's distinct voices, right?
You know, when you finish that, why don't you just, move the mic and spit in my face? Because that's pretty much what you did, and the whole world's watching. All right, man.
I'm just saying.
We got to talk a little bit of shop for the G For Guzman Podcast. Pick it up more. Pick it up. Like right there.
Yeah, that's good right there.
Closer like this too.
That's
all
good.
Right. We got to talk a little bit workshop. Got to talk shop about this podcast, just for the viewers, the loyal viewers who are tuning in still, right?
Right. So what'd you say we have to talk about what?
Talk shop about the podcast.
Okay,
kind of where we're going, where we're at a little bit.
Right.
So it's been about a week and a half since we actually posted a video. We're still going to keep posting. The motherfucking saga continues, like I said.
What did I tell you about that, man? What did I tell you?
About what?
About cursing.
It just happens. It's part of my vernacular now. I'm sorry. I'm trying to stop it.
What did I tell you, vernacular? Is that a curse word?
No, that's just a regular word.
No, man, you got to stop with the cursing.
I'm sorry. I'm trying. I'm trying. Get off my back, all right?
And especially the F word. The F word is not...
Don't be dropping F-bombs, right? Sometimes it adds to a sentence, though. Sometimes it's a little...
You've been saying a little bit too much lately. You've been saying it a little bit too much lately. It's
spicy.
Kind of like it's uncomfortable, man. It's uncomfortable.
It's one of those things. Just don't do it.
Don't do it. Well, you can do it all day long. You can do it when you're...
All right, Dad. All right. Jeez. God, get off my back, please. Nah, real quick. Talking shop. Yeah, we're going to get to this podcast. We're going to use this podcast because we're utilizing man's greatest invention, speech, right? We're going to talk. That's
free speech. Free speech is what we have.
Well, speech, just talking in general. The fact that we created languages and all that, right? That's man's greatest invention, I think.
I disagree.
It has to be. You can't do anything without speech.
Hey, it's sign language.
Huh? Sign language mimics speech, though.
Yeah, but it's
a type of communication. Man's greatest gift is communication.
Between
via
two people.
Speech and language. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
But I'm not saying it's not. We didn't invent it.
Yeah, we did. We kind of did.
No, it's like you invented running. Who invented running? It's something you do.
We're the only animals on Earth who speak and have different languages.
No. There's animals that communicate with each other through speech as well. Because what is speech?
It's not speech, it's noise.
No, it's not, there's a difference. Cats and dogs don't go. They don't just make random noises.
Cats and dogs don't communicate. Even cats to cats, they make noises, and you can kind of understand. I'm sure the way the animal mind they communicate, obviously,
through
right?
Speech.
But
their own speech.
What we do, we say words, and these words represent symbols and images in our mind, and we do that on a scale that nobody else on Earth, no other creature on Earth does.
I would disagree.
That's
when
man's
you said
greatest invention.
Man's greatest, because we didn't invent it.
We did.
How do you invent something that you're born with?
You find out we're the smartest. Our reason, right?
It's not like you're
you're born with it now, but somebody had to do it.
Chemical A with chemical B, and we
you're getting too materialistic with it, dude. There's more than one way to. There's creation extends past the physical, right?
It's something you're born with.
No, you're not. You have the ability to make noises with your mouth, but if you leave a kid in the jungle and all that, he's not going to learn how to speak. He's just like a caveman. You got to teach it. You got to learn it. And that's man's greatest, invention. Because through it, we've been able to. We're doing this podcast right now. We're utilizing it. We're practicing it.
Get to the point, Schneebly.
Schneebly, get to the point. I was going to. You asked me. You interrupted me. I was just making a comment. Anyways, we got to talk shop before we can utilize man's greatest creation speech, right? So
now you're changing the words. You said invention. Now you said creation.
Invention, creation. When you invent, you create. What is the difference? Come on, man. What's the difference between saying I created the wheel and I invented the wheel?
No. There's a difference between creation and
create,
invention.
I guess, is doesn't necessarily mean invent. So I can see that. You can create something that already existed. I created the wheel today. I made one today. Out of scratch, I created a wheel. I didn't invent it, though, right? So I can see that distinction.
No. There's a difference. Everything that encompasses a wheel, right? You have, I don't know, what you make, a tire and steel. You combine that. The wheel itself was created before. The contents within that wheel were here on Earth before. It's not you didn't create it. You invented it because you put those parts together and you.
But by doing the first person who invented the wheel,
already here, right?
Who invented the wheel also created the wheel. The wheel did not exist. The metal did.
The guy didn't
rubber did.
The guy didn't create.
He didn't create rubber. He can't say I created rubber. No. He created the wheel.
I know.
Back then it was wood or stone, whatever, right?
He invented the wheel.
And created the wheel.
He didn't create the wheel because to create the wheel, you have to create the content within that wheel.
No,
yes,
man.
That's true.
That's not. Nobody makes anything then.
They invent stuff.
They invent and create.
So if somebody said, "Hey, man, I created I don't know, a basketball goal."
Okay, I get your point now.
Right?
I get your point. Created has this sort of.
That it,
this deity behind it, like God, right? God created everything because everything's already here.
Exactly.
He created it out of nothing, right? So, if you're using it from that theological standpoint,
and I am.
Okay, but you can still create things, right?
Yeah.
I created a movie. I made a movie. I used a camera. I put this story together. I created a story, right? You didn't invent the story, but you created one.
That's true.
So I'm just saying, there's sometimes you can't use them. You can't use them interchangeably all the time.
I'm just trying to argue.
No, it's good. That's what this podcast is about.
But
man. That's
continue
what it's about.
on. You said you. I don't know what the heck you were talking about.
I was talking shop a little bit. I don't want to go into too much of it, just because I'll start rambling. G For Guzman Podcast. This is Up Close with Matt and Jon. Obviously, if you've been watching all the episodes, we're at a new set right now. Right? Created all this, whatever. I created this, right? I didn't invent it. I created this little setup we got here. Quick side note, before I continue with talking shop, I was hanging curtains, I was moving stuff. I'm terrible with my hands. A traditional man would have laughed at me. You're like, God, of course you're going to go there. I realized that, and I want to just keep in mind what I just said because I want to come back to it later, because this past week has been really eye-opening, and it's humbled me in a lot of ways. I realized how
much of an idiot you are.
Unpractical I really am with physical labor, and it kind of was an insult to my manhood, I was trying to hang stuff, screw things in, use the screwdriver drill motor, taking measurements and all that. I was sweating my ass off up here, and what did I say? What did I say? But quick side note, because I want to talk about that later. Talking shops. Obviously, this is a different set, guys. For those who are watching, we usually shoot at Mike's house, and we're going to continue to do that. This is just something Jonathan and I concocted for when we're here. Concocted, word of the day.
Word of the day.
Concocted.
I know where you got that from.
I don't know. I just used it.
No, you got that from Boy Meets World.
Oh, God, man. You had to bring that up.
No, because you used that word, and I didn't know what that word was, so I went and
It's a
looked it
word,
up.
all right.
It means concoct. It means to...
Just to make.
To make,
I'm not a
to
fucking
make, to
Webster's
come up with.
dictionary here. Well, anyways, we concocted this little set we got going on here just to be a little more practical with the viewers and with the podcast. Obviously, 2 to 3 episodes a week at Mike's house for Mike and Mandy who have families isn't necessarily always going to pan out. So we needed some place to, talk trash, just talk shop, whatever. So we made this little place, but we're going to continue to shoot at Mike's and here too. If you're seeing this one, it's probably just going to be me and John. Maybe we'll have a couple of close friends come on this one. But we're going to continue shooting at Mike's, and we got some people lined up for next week. So tune in for that. We're going to have some guests coming on, hopefully. COVID, you mother effer. You've been a pain in my ass the last few months.
What
And I don't mean
say?
to ridicule something that's impacted people's lives, right? Because they're going to say, you jerk. It's,
it's,
so inconvenient for your podcast. People are getting in hospitals and all that. And I sympathize. Right. I'm just talking to talk a little bit right now. So G For Guzman Podcast, Up and Close with Matt. The mother effing saga continues. The journey continues.
Right.
We're not slow. We slowed down a little bit. We're going to pick it back up, though. So we'll have this one out.
We're going to pick up the pace.
Yeah.
But going back to COVID, how has it impacted you besides this whole podcast and all that? Because you said you mother effer, and thank you for not saying the F word that time.
How's it impacted me?
It's closed because Texas... They opened, but then it spiked up the cases.
I was a loser
that.
before COVID. I think I've made the comment on the previous
all
podcast.
Those shy people out there, this is kind of
this is your time to shine. This is your.
I didn't get invited because COVID.
This is a guilty man's cop out, dude.
Yeah,
you can easily. I was a loser before. Now I'm a loser, but now I just don't feel as bad about it because now everybody you can't go out.
Yeah,
so.
You have an excuse, right?
Yeah, now I have an excuse. I get to be home. Usually, before you would be home on a Friday or Saturday night. You're like, damn, I know all my friends are out this week and there's a whole world out there going on, drinking it up, turning it up, making love.
But to be honest, I think
feel like making love.
I think this whole COVID thing couldn't have come at a better time. Obviously, it's a horrible thing, but already
if a pandemic was gonna hit, it's probably the best time to hit.
Because 2 years ago, we'd probably be miserable right now because we're not going out anymore. We're not drinking it up with our friends, not going to Midtown, Washington, and all that.
Oh, we're still drinking it up, just not not in bars.
But as far as going out and hanging out, right, going to bar. Even if COVID was open, COVID didn't exist. Yeah, obviously, I'm not gonna lie. I would go out and all that. But I think those days are behind us, man. I mean, we'll go out every now and then.
Yeah, it gets old sometimes.
It gets old.
Yeah, going out, drinking
so
at
I
the
guess
bars.
I'm not suffering as much, right? Because I don't have that urge to go out like I used to before.
Yeah, you're maturing, man. Honestly,
exactly.
that's the whole point of it. There's nothing wrong with going out. Nothing wrong going out with you. We're probably been going out wrong, with the wrong people and the wrong groups and all that. I'm sure if you have the right group of friends, a big group of friends as well, going out's a blast. And usually, and it is. There's nothing wrong with doing it.
All right.
But it gets old after a certain point, dude. You get maturing. You start maturing, and you start realizing that it's not. There's other things you'd rather do. I'd rather drink it up. With family or good friends,
right,
in the privacy of your own home where you can karaoke, drink, talk whatever you want, stay out as late as you want without running the risk of driving home or, getting into a fight at a bar or, paying all that money. I mean, you buy a 24-pack for about $25 and you're good to go. You know what I'm saying?
Damn, not 25, like 40.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nah, not like an 18-pack is like $19, whatever. 24-pack, it depends where you go, obviously. Anyways, it's a lot cheaper regardless. The point I'm trying to make, buying beer and taking it.
You buy 24 beers at a bar.
That's like $120.
That's almost like 120.
It's like $125 a beer.
Yeah, exactly. And that's if you're lucky.
And you got to do it within like a 3-hour period, So, geez, it's just yeah, like you said, it couldn't come at a better time, probably, this COVID. If a pandemic was going to hit, it's like the perfect storm, man. It just everything, all this protesting, all the pandemic,
going on, man. Yeah, it's crazy.
2020.
All those people who turned 21 were looking to party up this year.
Yeah, I turned 25. Turned 25 a couple of weeks ago. Yeah.
What do we do for your birthday? Nothing, right?
I think everybody forgot.
Oh, it's your birthday.
Matthew. And I woke up all like, expecting gifts and hugs and kisses. Like, Matthew, go take out the trash,
And when you're done with that, we have a surprise for you. Like, oh.
Yeah, and when you're done with it, we got a surprise for you. Like, yeah, it's like, go clean the bathtub. I'm like, damn, man.
Go cut the grass.
Go cut the grass.
Because you're an ass.
Because it's your 25th birthday.
So what do they call that? What do they call that? Who texts you something? They text you the golden birthday. I know there's something that when you turn 25, they call it the certain birthday when you turn 25. The golden year? The golden age? Something. You know,
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Am I getting confused with like anniversaries?
It might be wedding anniversaries or something. At the bronze anniversary, like each anniversary has like a theme. I think once you get like
50 years, I think that's gold. Like if you've been married for 50 years,
yeah.
I think here
you get like bronze and silver, and I don't know. Nobody texted me that. Nobody texted me. Everybody forgot it was my birthday. Really hurt my feelings, guys. Got to reach out to me. While Jonathan's searching that, I'm going to do a little. Give a shout out to those who are wondering what I'm sipping on. I'm drinking. This is called yerba mate tea. Mate is it's obviously a tea. Tea comes from plants. This tea, specifically mate, comes from, it's a plant in Brazil, I believe. Really popular in Latin America. I know Argentina and Uruguay and Chile, I think they really like it a lot. It's popular all over Latin America and in North America now too, right? A friend got me on it though. He was like, "Hey man, you need to drink it. It's really good." Honestly, I like it for this. This is called a gourd. I'm drinking it the traditional way. Obviously, you got to heat up some water. You pour it in at like a 45-degree angle and whatnot. Makes you feel,
Oh my God! Like, I looked at my phone for 1 minute. He's already.
It makes you feel like you're part of the.
I know for a fact. I know how you are. You don't like that. It does not taste good.
It's good, man. Tea. I like it a lot more than
oh, by the way,
tea.
It was your golden
25th birthday is the golden year?
No. For weddings.
Weddings.
50th anniversary.
Yeah, so you don't have to worry about that for another 25 years, right? You're not getting married anytime soon. Yeah. Well, real quick, so mate, really good tea. Supposed to be like the healthiest tea out there, apparently, from what I did my research on. I like to do a little research before I just start buying and drinking things. So, yeah, yerba mate, I know you like it, bro. You're just being a hater. For those who want to see, this is organic, the one I got. Oh my God, what is happening here? Good, comes in a bag, comes in crumbled up. You pour it in this gourd, tilt it, shake it up a little bit, pour the hot water in at an angle. There's like a water hole. You use this, in Argentina they call it the bombilla. The bombilla, it's a metal straw.
You're a bombilla for buying that, man.
You're a bombilla. Use the metal straw and you... It's quite delicioso. You want some a little bit? Nah, COVID, dude. I'm not gonna give you COVID. Come on.
You're right.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't have COVID, but just wipe it down, just do it.
That would be weird.
And Jonathan's obviously drinking the Buffalo Trace, classic, having a little sip. Get your sip on. What
was I going to say? But let's move on from this crap mate. God, nobody wants to talk about mate.
For those who want to, you heat your water up and you want to get the temperature of the water.
If they want to drink mate, they're going to go on YouTube and look up how to drink mate.
Well, this video's going to be on YouTube. 145 degrees Fahrenheit to about 185, 190 is what you want to get your temperature. You want it to get to the fish-eyed boiling state. You don't want it boiling too aggressively.
Dude,
and you pour it in there.
Come on, please, just move forward. I feel like I'm on freaking
Martha Stewart,
or on that channel that they're promoting like earrings and
the late ones, the ones that are like on 4 a.m.
Yeah. Like mate, for $29.99.
Mate and this kettle was pretty cheap.
What is that? QVC, is that what it's called?
I have no idea what that is.
They're main ladies always on Shark Tank.
Yeah. I'm drinking it the traditional way. Just give me 30 seconds before Jonathan, shuts me up again. I'm drinking mate the traditional way in the gourd with the bombilla and the straw. And you can also drink it French press style. And that's how I drink my coffee too now, dude. Get the French press like a motherfucking boss. You press it down, you plunge the coffee. It's a little gritty, but it's stronger, more concentrated, quick. Good to go. So,
wait, what is French press again? They actually press it. The coffee grains down.
It's a type of way to make coffee. You have that French press. It's called a French press coffee maker. Usually they're like glass jars, whatever. It has like a plunger at the top. You put your coffee grounds into it. They have to be grounded, obviously, just like the Folgers coffee, whatever. Pour it in there. Got your hot water. You pour your hot water in there. And then you plunge it down, and it just, makes the coffee right there. Obviously, it's gritty, right? Because the coffee grounds.
When did you start drinking coffee and mate and all that stuff?
Honestly, when I started working, dude.
You started this like a week ago.
I started drinking mate like 2 weeks ago. 2.5 weeks almost, really.
What gave you just all of a sudden one day, hey, I want to drink mate?
My friend told me. You have no friends, right?
Who, Ralph told you or what?
Ralph is our cat.
I know exactly where he got it from.
And don't you dare out me for it, all right, man? Anyway, I'm doing it. It's good. It stimulates my mind. It keeps me focused. Keeps me ready to go. It wakes me up in the morning.
I swear, if I
drink
said
more than
that
coffee.
eating crap would wake you up, you would eat crap. God.
Yeah, but then your breath would smell like shit all day.
Come on, dude.
Enough.
All right, how many words have you said? You said like 6 bad words so far.
Bad words. It's funny, right? What makes a word bad? Like, obviously, when you're a kid, a bad word for a kid is a word that's going to get you in trouble. Like, your parents hear you, and they're going to freaking spank you, right? But in reality, why is it a bad word? It's just a
bad
word. Like, when you say the S or the F word or whatever, it's like, oh, man, it's just vulgar, I guess, or it's just, it's nurture, right? It's just like passed down from generations that, oh, that's a bad word, that's a bad word. Like the middle finger, right? Like if you throw up a middle, it's the implication, I guess, the intention behind it.
It's the implication.
But when I said the F word, like I didn't say it in a bad way. I didn't say it in an aggressive way to you. I guess it just comes off aggressive, right?
Yeah.
It's weird.
It does. So
it does, right?
Stop
saying it, man. Stop saying it. So when I was giving a little rundown about the new set and all that, I was talking about how I felt like a wimp earlier this past 2 weeks. Been trying to do some home improvement around here, just putting up simple stuff too. It's not even like, oh, I was changing the carburetor in my car, I had to take out the engine or change the oil. Simple stuff, even that's pretty simple, but like manly stuff, it's not even that.
I'm gonna stop you right there. You're putting me to sleep, dude, honestly. You can talk about something interesting.
Well, all right.
Okay, let's talk about something interesting.
All right, well, ask me something.
You said...
Hey, I defer to you. Everybody's telling me, like, man, you talk too much. Let Bud talk. All right, cool.
So what's in the news right now? What's in the news right now? I want to,
You stopped my story to talk about the news.
Well, because you did carburetor and carbonator.
I'm making a point that I felt wimpy because I don't even do that stuff, and that's simple. Yeah. The stuff I'm saying, like I was struggling with, was like hanging curtains and moving furniture.
Women like wimpy guys. Boom.
Women like wimpy guys?
Do women like wimpy guys?
Not at all.
What if he's filthy rich?
A wimpy, filthy rich guy? It's like there's different cases,
because that's where you're headed,
right? Dude. That's where I'm headed?
No,
to be
I'm
a rich
joking,
wimpy dude? Nah, it depends, man.
But no, continue. We're going there. We'll do that topic.
Into that conversation.
Why did you feel bad about you couldn't do all these things? You felt like a wimp, right?
Yeah. Well, if you would have let me finish before interrupting me, I was going to get to that. All right. I said, so this past week, I've been doing just like home stuff, stuff that I feel most traditional wives know how to do, like hanging curtains. I was taking measurements, screwing getting the stud finder, finding the stud, and trying to, get the screwdriver in there, get it right, and I was struggling with that. I'm sweating my balls off. It's hot as balls outside and stuff, and I'm sweating, and then I'm just moving furniture around, and I'm struggling with it. It took me a good while to actually hang the curtains in the room and all that, move the furniture. And I'm like, damn, man, what could have taken a dad or Michael me? Or no, not you. Because you're even worse than me, probably.
No way.
You probably have more dexterity with your hands, so you're able to do more actual work, but you don't. So,
shut up.
Just like that conversation we were having the other day, that I'm funnier than you. I was like, no, you can't say that if you never say
funnier than you.
If you never say jokes or make people laugh and
doesn't mean I'm not funnier than you.
Yes, so you gotta do the action to claim the throne. No. That's like saying, hey man, I'm a better soccer player than you, but I never play soccer. But I'm a better soccer than you.
We said about this with intelligence, right? We use an example, right? This guy who's not so
intelligence is different though.
No, it's not, because it's something you have.
Yeah,
it's a gift you're born with.
Yeah,
right?
And there's really no way to prove your intelligence.
And there's really no way to prove your funniness.
Yes, it is by people who you make laugh.
You can do that with intelligence. Well, did you? How good of a job do you have?
No, see, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Intelligence does not necessarily equate to success. Right. There are many successful people who make a lot of money who aren't very smart.
George Lopez,
I've met a lot of successful, money speaking wise people who are very intelligent.
Wait, shut up. I just want to see because okay, go.
What?
No, because something was wrong with the audio. Mic check.
It's good there?
Yeah.
We're good?
Yes, we're good.
I was saying intelligence doesn't necessarily equate success, right? I mean, meaning that you can be really successful in a company or something and making a lot of money.
Wait, let me just stop. I'm going to stop you there, right? Let's say you have good material for funny, right? You're a comedian.
Intelligence is a weird one to talk about.
Shut
Intelligence is weird. So we're talking about comedy,
being funny, right? You say the same jokes, right? I say the same jokes. And wait, I'm just trying to get an example. As you can be saying the right stuff, it's funny, right, to us, but you go to a certain crowd and they're not laughing, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that guy's not funny. Why? Well, because he's not making them laugh. Doesn't mean you're not funny. Just that crowd sucks, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Or you can have. We've seen it personally where somebody's saying, "Why did the chicken cross the road?" Blah blah, and like. Great, that one time we were there, I find this very funny.
And everybody was laughing.
Me and you were like,
that wasn't funny. That was so corny and whack and so lame.
All I'm saying is that if you have a funny guy who goes his whole life without making one joke, right? Without making one joke, but within himself, he has the ability
to make
people laugh. Man. He's funny, and he's funny.
You said it. He has the ability.
Right.
You have the potential to be the funniest guy in the world. You have the potential to be. But if you never say a joke, or you never try if you never make anybody laugh, or you never say anything funny, how can you say I'm funnier than you?
Because you are.
Yeah, the intelligence is a little different because intelligence is pretty concrete. Intelligence is pretty concrete. Comedy obviously has preference, is biased, right?
Shut up. We're saying two different things, right? You're trying to say, prove you're funny. And I said, I'm saying, I don't have to prove it because I know I'm funnier than you.
But you can't make a comment like that.
I don't have to prove it.
You can only say, I know it, but everybody else doesn't know it.
No, I know it.
How can you say...
And it's in general, in life... You're funnier than that guy, even if you haven't proved it. Even if you didn't say one darn joke
how
in
would
your
you
whole
prove
life.
it? How would you? You probably can prove it. I know what you're saying. Like, hey, dude, I'm funnier than you. I know
Just
I have the ability.
Said you couldn't prove intelligence, but you just know it when you see it.
No, intelligence. I was saying you can prove it because intelligence is pretty concrete. It's universal.
No.
Comedy is kind of biased. People have different preferences. They think dark humor. You know, people laugh at when people get hurt. People laugh at sarcastic stuff. Dry humor. You have all these types. My point is. You can't say, I'm funnier than you. And like you said, even if I never said any joke, never made anybody laugh, it's in me. I know I'm funnier than you. It's like, no, you can't say that, dude. You might have the potential to be. And I agree with you. If you were to talk, more people probably, think you are funnier than me.
They do think that.
Okay, well then, so you are funnier than me. But just going back to this hypothetical.
I just don't talk.
Huh?
I just don't. I pick and choose when I want to say my jokes.
Well, then you can't say you're funnier because that's even making it harder on me because I talk so much. And people are saying, yeah, shut up. But people probably already are annoyed by me, and I'm still making them laugh and all that. So I have it harder on me because I'm always constantly
They're laughing at you like, ha, ha.
And people think you're probably funnier because you never talk. So when you do talk, it's like, oh, Jonathan said something.
How many times have you stolen my jokes? How many times have you stolen my jokes and they're a success?
If you were so funny, I wouldn't be able to steal because everybody would know it was you.
Wait. When we're watching funny shows, right? Mm-hmm. And it's a funny scene. It's funny, right? Like 2.5 Men, Charlie Sheen, and all that, or The Office, Michael Scott.
Yeah.
How many times have you said, man, they're funny, but the real funny ones are the writers?
Yeah.
Doesn't mean the writers aren't funny. They're probably funnier than Steve Carell.
Probably in real life. Obviously, it's a show, though, so it's fake. So yeah, like I said, the writers who wrote that, they're the real funny ones because they had to think of it.
And most of the times when you see
them, and I bet if you were to talk to them in person, I bet if you were to actually meet Steve Carell, who plays Michael Scott, John Krasinski, who plays Jim, and the writers, I bet the writers would make you laugh so much, a lot more.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But they don't have to prove it. Because they write the stuff.
But they're writing it for somebody. That's different. That's a TV show. That's a TV show. Because they're writing it specifically for their actors.
If you have the writer and you have Steve Carell and you put him in a room, right? People 9 times out of 10, 10 times out of 10 are going to say, Steve Carell's funnier.
But I'll get to a different point. It's not always content either. It's the delivery. The writers...
Delivery, content, the funniness is funny. Whether it's in the content...
It's the facial expression.
The sarcasm behind it, the tone...
There's a reason why those writers are writers and not actors, because they know what's funny. They can come up with funny things, but they can't. It wouldn't be funny to other people.
And maybe there's a reason why the actors are actors and not writers.
Exactly. It goes both ways.
Maybe they're not funny.
There's some people though. There's some people like on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. They write their own stuff. They write and they act, and so those are really funny guys. All right, Steve Carell. Yeah, the way he does it, there can't be another Michael Scott.
So why do you say that you're funnier than me?
Because I'm funnier, dude.
How?
I make more people laugh. I'm more out, like...
I make people laugh, too.
Once in a while.
What do you mean once in a while? I make people laugh a lot.
All the time. When we go to a party, who do people expect to be like the sociable one, laughing and all that?
But I still make people laugh.
All right, dude.
If you're judging based on how many people you make laugh, well, maybe you're making people who
why do you think you're funnier than me then? You think you make more people laugh than me?
Because it's something my content and the stuff I
your
say.
Content.
My material is better than yours.
If people think you're funnier than me, I'm not saying you're not funny. You're a funny guy, man. When you want to be, right? Like you said, when you want to be. Exactly. You can't say I'm a much better student than you, even though you're probably smarter than like a kid in high school. You know, like we said, I just never go to school, dude. But I'm smarter than you. I'm a better student than you. They could say you can't say that, dude. I'm making straight A's. You're making F's right now. So yeah, but if I were to go to school, I'd be better than you. You can't say that.
Let's say a student makes an A. Let's say a student makes an A, right?
And I said better student. I didn't say smarter. I didn't say smarter.
Okay, that's what I'm trying to get at, right? If we're trying to trying to test intelligence and smartness and all that, let's say you have student A and student B. Student A, not that smart, but he gets his work done. He or she gets his work done, right? They turn in their work on time and they end up getting an A, right? But let's say student B is actually smarter than student A as far as his ability to think on his own and to come up with stuff and not just copy, word for word and do the assignment, right? He actually goes deep into the material and, makes his own judgment and all that stuff, right? He has a more common sense and all that. But he just doesn't give an F, and he ends up making a B or a C. Who would you say is smarter in that situation?
Probably the B guy. But I didn't say who's smarter. I said who's a better student.
No. Well, I'm saying who's smarter.
The B, probably. Yeah, B.
And that's all I'm saying, right? Mm-hmm. Most of the time, I don't try my hardest to make people laugh.
All I'm saying is if you're going to claim...
I'm not funnier.
You might be. You might be funnier, all right? And you probably are. My whole thing is you can't claim it.
So you're student A in that situation, right?
Student B...
You might be smarter. But
student B can't claim it, though. That's my whole thing. You can't claim something like that if you don't do it.
That wasn't the argument. That wasn't the argument.
You said, I'm funnier than you. I'm funnier than you. I said, you can't say something like that.
You just proved it by saying who was smarter. You said probably student B.
Yeah.
You said student B.
Yeah, he probably is.
That's what I'm trying to say.
But if student B,
out of me and you,
this is because this is hypothetical we created. You said he was smarter, so of course, yeah, okay. In this hypothetical you created, you said student B smarter than student A. Who's smarter? Well, student B. You just said it. But in real world, where somebody's not freaking writing a story about us or making up a hypothetical, all I'm saying is, unless you prove it, you can't claim it. Okay, you can't claim to be the best if you can't back it up.
All you proved is that you're an idiot.
Oh yeah. At parties, people probably do think they probably think I'm annoying and stuff. Yeah, no doubt. But I'm saying, and this just goes beyond it: sports, comedy, work, anything. If you're gonna claim to do something, you gotta back it up. That's the golden rule of thumb for everything, bro. Just keep that in mind.
So when you claim I'm funnier than you, you felt like you've already backed that accusation
up? Yeah, back it up. I think if you ask more people.
How?
Why does everybody say, dang, Matthew and Michael, they're kind of like the outgoings, and Mandy and Jonathan are much more shy and all that? Why? Because y'all are. It's like, hey, man, Mandy's pretty funny, too. Like, you and Mandy make me laugh more than anybody. Well, you, Mandy, and Michael, like, as far as people I know. Y'all crack me up all the time. But you and Mandy are more reserved, more shy, so that content's not going to get out there, unfortunately.
But it doesn't mean we're not funny, man. And sometimes you can even say, you're part of the funniest one in the family.
Yeah, y'all are, probably. But you got to prove it sometimes, man.
Why do we have to prove it? Why?
Because if you're going to make a claim like that, if you're going to make a bold claim, you got to be able to back it up. That's just with anything. I can outdrink you. Oh, really? And deep down, you're like, yeah, I can. I know I can. But unless you do it and
proving it would just solidify that you are.
Yeah.
But
it'd make everybody else know. You might know it.
Doesn't take away from the fact that you are funny or you can outdrink people.
Yeah.
Right.
Man,
if Andre the Giant, right? Remember
you can't hide your talent. You can't hide your light because nobody's gonna know about it, bro. You gotta put that shit on blast so everybody can see it. That's the only way other people are gonna know. There's no good in saying, "Hey, I know this."
What if you don't want to show?
Well, you don't have to. But I'm saying, that's
all I'm saying, dude. If I don't show it to the day I die, doesn't take away the fact that I was funnier than you.
Yeah, but nobody else will believe it.
Okay, but still, it's a fact that I was funnier than you.
No, it's not even a fact. Yeah, it's an opinion at that point because you didn't do anything to prove it. A fact has to be proven. It's in your opinion at that point. In order to become a fact, you got to prove it.
It's like if a tree falls in the middle of the forest and nobody's around to see it.
Yeah.
Does it make a noise?
No.
No,
it does make a noise. It doesn't make a noise. We just don't hear it.
How?
We don't hear it because it fell.
How did they prove that it made a noise?
Because a tree falls right now. If a tree were to fall right here, it makes a noise.
No. All I'm saying
physics,
is that
gravity,
you don't have to
reality.
see it to understand that it's a fact that it would make a noise.
No, but if a tree falls in the middle of the forest and nobody's around to hear it, do you know that tree fell? No.
What?
If a tree fell right now in the middle of the forest...
Yeah, I know, because you just told me it fell.
No. Assuming there's a tree and it fell right now. But there could be one. I don't know. There might be a tree in the Amazon rainforest that's falling.
It's going to make a noise.
No. Do we know it's fallen? That tree, as it exists in reality, do we know it fell? Right now.
We don't know because we don't know.
Exactly. You don't know. Exactly. That's my whole thing with your comedy thing. Unless you're there, unless you prove it, unless you show it, nobody's going to know you're funnier. Nobody's going to know you're better.
I know that nobody's going to know. Nobody's going to know.
Exactly.
Doesn't take away from the fact that they are funnier.
Okay, yeah, but...
That's all I'm saying.
Okay,
that's
true.
All I'm saying.
Innate. They have the potential to be funnier,
No,
right?
not potential. They are.
So you're telling me if a guy who's born never says one word, he just stays sitting down, and he's saying all these funny stuff in his head, right? He's making himself laugh up. He's watching TV, and he's hearing like all the word around him. Never says one word in his whole life and dies. He can still say, I'm funnier than all of you guys.
Yeah.
And it could be true.
It is true.
How would you know that?
It would be a lot better, right, if he were to start
Only
joking.
The person can probably know that.
No.
How would anybody know it? How would anybody know it's true? You can't. You don't.
You don't. But it's a truth.
I
nature.
agree with you. Just because we don't necessarily understand a truth doesn't mean it's not true, right?
Right.
There could be an asteroid going over Earth right now. And you can say, well, you don't know it, but it's still true that it's happening. Yeah.
Exactly,
okay, I get that. Yeah, and I get that.
That's what I'm saying.
But
That's
even in that state that he's in, it's more of like a potential, a potency, because he hasn't done anything funny in his whole life. It's innate in him, just like an athlete. This guy might have in him to be the greatest athlete in the whole world, but he just stays sitting down. He can't really say, I'm a better athlete than all of you, even though it can be true.
He can't, but it doesn't take away the fact that he is.
No, that he has the potential to be,
Not
bro.
that he has the potential. That he is. Because it's within him. It's not like he doesn't have that talent and he has to train for it.
It's within.
He already has it.
Within him,
exactly.
But he has
within him, on him,
he has like,
near him, inside of him. He has it. Okay,
but he's not doing anything with it.
It doesn't give him. You don't give an F.
You have the potential to be funnier. All right, we'll leave it at that.
No.
It's
like
potency,
you were saying with
man.
athleticism,
it's potency.
Right? This guy,
potentiality.
if he were just to play, and if he were to really try, he'd be the best in the world.
Yeah, he would be. You said it in that sentence. He would be.
Yeah,
he would.
No.
He's not right now. He would be if he played.
But other people would finally see it.
Yeah.
Doesn't take away from the fact that he isn't. He is the best player in the world. And
he would finally see it too.
No, because
he's never played before.
You just...
Come on, man.
Let's change the subject because I'm going to beat the crap out of
you. Why do you get mad, man? We're just talking here. I mean, potency. It's all potentiality.
Potency. F you. All right, what other topic you want to talk about? Because we're at 37. I want to get this in now. I want to get the F out of here.
Why, man? Why are you so mean? You're a grumpy goose, man. Or what's the expression? Grumpy Gus? Can't be like that, man. You got to liven up, be able to talk.
What is it? I know people have been saying, man, you got to spice it up a little bit. You can't be talking about philosophy and shit like that.
What?
With this podcast, people who watch this podcast are like, oh, what the heck? You know, they got to start talking about more personal stuff. Not more personal, but more relatable stuff and all that.
Who's saying that?
I don't know. People.
You're saying what? I don't get what that comment meant. What are you trying to say?
Well, what do you want to talk about right now? What do you have for us to talk about?
Well, I don't know, dude. We just started talking conversation. I never come with topics, you know that.
Well, maybe you should.
You know I never have topics. Just let the conversation go. We got into a huge debate, right? Not even a huge debate. It's just more back and forth arguing about... In essence, it was about potency versus act, potentiality versus the act of actually doing something, and whether, the act defines it or if the potency defines it, right? Little philosophy 101.
I've taken philosophy courses.
Did you like them? They were pretty cool. They're eye-opening, dude. It gets your mind thinking.
It makes you think. It makes you
for sure.
Expand your mind. It makes you think outside the box.
What's that?
It makes you think outside the box a little bit.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, philosophy.
I remember this one, what?
Filosofía in Spanish.
Yeah.
Filosofía.
I remember this one class.
The love of wisdom.
No. It was ethics. I forgot one of those philosophy classes. We were talking about opposites. And naturally, he was like, hey, our professor, I forgot his name. I don't know.
I thought you said this was a sociology class.
I just said it was philosophy.
Oh.
I think it was ethics or something. And he said, what is the opposite of red? And everybody naturally assumed blue. And he was like, well, no, when you think about it, blue is a color. You put, it's kind of close to red. You put, another color and you keep mixing it, you're going to get red. So they're not too different.
Yeah.
So that got me thinking, all these other things that we thought opposite, right? Like, what's the opposite of peanut butter? Jelly. Well, not really. They're both they're both food.
Yeah.
They're both kind of like sticky. They're both, you can eat them.
They both go taste delicious on bread.
Exactly. So we began thinking. He asked us a question. I remember he was like, "What's the opposite?" I think he said of a rock. And I raised my hand, and he's like, "Yeah, you like anything that isn't a rock." He's like, bingo. And I remember I felt like, hey, that's pretty cool. Everything that has the opposite of what that is, right? Mm-hmm. Like, what's the opposite of a dog? Cat? No, not really. They both have paws. Yeah. They both have teeth. They both have a toe.
Yeah, both animals both have fur.
So when you think maybe what's the opposite of a dog, you would say we have to pick something that's non-living because a dog is living. So it's something non-living that is small. That is probably the opposite color. Oh, see now I'm mixing up. So we'd probably pick like a rock in that case, right?
Well, I think the bottom line is that we're all a lot more similar and fall under the same umbrella than a lot of people think, right?
Right.
And a lot of time people use the word opposite when we could really probably use counterpart or something, right? Like opposite of man, woman. It's like, well, it's not the opposite. They go together. They're counterparts,
they're
right?
Born to be together.
Yeah, they're born to be together. Like they, I have a lack of words right now with what I'm trying to say.
But when you think about like science, a positive and a negative come together,
attract.
Right? That's where they get it from. Opposites attract, right?
You agree with that?
As far as like relationships and all that?
Yeah, as far as men and women go, opposites attract.
To a certain extent, you don't want to date someone that's so similar to you, but you don't want to date kind of someone who's totally opposite of you and has different kind of beliefs.
What do you mean by opposite? No, I'm joking, man. I'm joking.
You kind of want to date someone who's going to push you to do something you haven't done before, but at the same time, they share a lot of the same things you like. You know what I mean?
It's very hard to kind of write out when someone asks you that question. Well, what are you looking for in a girl? It's like, well, damn it, I don't know.
I don't know.
You just know it when you see it, when you feel it, right? And I guess it goes back to prove your point, not to go back to that whole stupid comedy thing or whatever, because we weren't even arguing about that. We were arguing against, I guess, the principle behind it, right? But it's kind of like love, right? You can't really prove you're in love with somebody. Like, how would you prove it? If you loved a girl?
Sex.
That's the worst way to prove it, because you could have sex with anything.
So.
Yeah. Sexo. En el culo. No, but how do you prove you love someone? You could say, oh, well, they always treated me right. So, well, you can treat somebody right and not love them.
That is horrible. And to all those viewers out there, you better not be doing that. Until marriage or abstinence, right? Like
abstinence.
I'm the new guy.
Yeah.
Do you want to know the best form of abstinence is?
Being me. Yeah, we're the best form of abstinence. Not all this protection, not all this, contraception, whatever. Being us. That's a guaranteed way to ensure that you're not getting laid. No, but
what?
No, going back, to being in love. How do you really prove that? If I were to say, hey, dude, it's not something you can prove, even though it's true. Like you said, it's true. I love this girl. It's just something only. Because somebody could say, well, yeah, look, of course he loves her. And you could be right. Like, of course he loves her. Look at how the way he treats her. He treats her so right. He never does wrong by her. That's usually a good indicator that he does. But it doesn't prove it, right? Because I can argue that, yeah, he's just treating her right because he believes in God, and he wants to get to heaven. He's just trying to do the right thing. He doesn't really love her, though, right? If it would have been anybody else, he would do the same way, act the same way.
So what you're saying now is what I was saying in the past, right? You have to prove your love. Well, why? If I love her and I know I love her, who's to say I don't love her?
Yeah, to a certain point, it is supporting your argument, but then it also hurts it, though, because when you love somebody, you show it. You do things. You got to take action. You gotta take the action of that love. You can't just
saying,
sit around. If you really love somebody, you can't.
Why
just
do we hurt the ones we love the most? Right? In that case, you're like, well, man, you're hurting her. You don't love her. No, I do.
Well,
right now I'm not proving it because I'm arguing all that.
People suck. People are not perfect. People make mistakes, and usually when you love somebody, those mistakes impact that person a lot more than just some random stranger. So that's why you say, why do you hurt the ones you love the most? It's like, well, I hurt a lot of people. It just impacts the ones I love the most, right? Because they trusted me, and I broke a little of that trust. It hurts more, right? I caused them a little more pain because they're so close to me. The most. Every rose has its thorns.
I was singing Rascal Flatts.
I know, but I'm singing this. That's a song I thought of. Every cowboy sings a sad, sad song. Come on,
what the heck are you singing?
Every rose has its thorns.
Oh, yeah. Who sings that?
I don't know. Just like every cowboy.
Why would you be singing that song? Mine makes more sense.
Every rose has its thorn, meaning even love, something beautiful, has thorns where it can hurt.
But I was actually singing the lyrics that what hurts the most. What hurts the most.
That's not about love, though. Well, I mean, it is.
Because we're talking about we hurt the ones we love the most. And I just hurt, we hurt the ones, I hurt and most, so naturally I just started, what hurts
But that's part of that
most?
song is like that girl doesn't love him back.
Was being so
well, we're talking about like two people who love each other.
And having so much to say.
And watching you walk away.
Don't get on my bandwagon now.
No, I'm not getting on your bandwagon. It was the wrong song to choose from what we were talking about.
Keep going.
Anyways, we're talking about love. You can't prove it, right?
You can't prove it.
How do you prove love?
If I have your wife right here and another girl right here and I drop them both, who are you going to go for?
That doesn't prove love.
Well, no, you can say, why did you go after her? Well,
yeah, that's my point. It doesn't prove it, though. There's a lot of reasons why you could have done something. Doesn't necessarily mean because you love them. You can have a scale
1 to 10. You can say, hey, 10 being you love her a lot, 1 being you don't love her.
No, you can't measure love either.
Yeah, you can.
How do you measure love?
You can measure it. You can measure anything.
You have a multimeter that you're going to plug up to the person? It's going to give you a number or what?
You measure love by what they do.
I agree.
In the last moments, and when push comes to shove, they're going to show you how much they love that person.
Love is
like
won.
The Joker said.
Love is won through a lot of little moments, through a long and difficult life. That's how you prove you love someone, dude. You got to look at the big picture. You can't prove love in a day. No. There's different times.
I'm just joking, bro. Yeah. I agree with you. I'm just trying to, play devil's advocate a little bit and just get another perspective.
Speaking of devil's advocate, you saw that movie the other week, Keanu Reeves.
I really didn't like that movie.
I didn't like it either. I didn't like his accent. Devil's Advocate, for people who don't know, is a movie. It's on Netflix if you want to go check it out. Keanu Reeves, kind of weird. Al Pacino.
Scary a little bit.
Lawyer. It's talking about right and wrong. Right? He's a lawyer. He's obligated to defend his client, even though he realizes that his client is wrong. So what does he do? He has this moral, war going on inside of him. I didn't really like it too much. Keanu Reeves is a badass. I think his best movie is The Matrix trilogy. Coming out with The Matrix 4, well, it probably got pushed back. It was supposed to come out next year, but with all this COVID. Another thing, COVID, you asked me in the beginning, what did COVID do to impact me? It's messing with my podcast. It's pushing back movies that were supposed to be coming out this year and next year, and now it's probably not going to come out for another 2 years. And it sucks to say, right? I mean, people are obviously hits a lot of people really close to home. Do you see that thing about Trump, the Trump administration? Well, they rescinded the policy, but they were trying to get foreign students, because they're not going to have classes in person. They were trying to make them go back to their countries where they were coming from. And I guess to their point, they were trying to make it's terrible policy. They rescinded it for a reason. Well, one, because they have a lot of uproar. People were pissed off about that, and rightfully so. Like, damn, man, how are you going to send people out of the country because of COVID? Kick students out who come here. I guess their mind was like, hey, man, less money to spend on people who can still go to class via online, right? If you have internet connection, you can be, if you're from Colombia or Mexico, going to St. Thomas or U of H. Now it's all online. Even if you're in Houston, you're going to have to be going to school from your home, your apartment, wherever you're staying. So just go back to Mexico, wherever you're from, and do that from your apartment over there, as long as you have internet connection, right? What's the difference? Mexico, U.S., here, there. A lot of people were upset about it, though, because a lot of people don't want to go back to their countries, though, right? A lot of them are here on student visas and whatnot. God damn, you're sleepy or what?
Yeah.
You exhausted?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I heard about that. It was a stupid thing they tried pushing.
No. Nah, man, it's...
I know a lot of people, especially where we used to go to school, St. Thomas, there's a lot of people
most of them were international students.
Yeah, man. But then again, what are they doing right now? They're back at home anyways.
Nah, a lot of them stay here. Well, a lot of those international students are U.S. citizens probably, or they have some sort of dual citizenship. Right. St. Thomas is a little different because it's a private school. So if you're an international student going to St. Thomas, it's because you got some cha-ching, you got some walking around money, you got some green in those pockets. So more than likely, their parents, their parents might not be citizens, but they are dual citizenship probably. So a lot of people were pissed off about it. I know I've been seeing on Instagram everybody was posting about it. I agree. Yeah, it sucks. I mean, how are you going to force? I mean, but this goes back to when they were trying to force illegal immigrants back. Like, oh, you're not a citizen. Like, come on, man. Damn, they started life here already. How are you just going to take them up and push them back? Like, what do you want them to do? Right. And it gets into like the whole. There's so many factors that come into it, right? Because we look at it from black and white. We look at the end product, and obviously the end product was shit. Like, don't force illegal immigrants to go back. Don't force students because of COVID and all that to go back, right? Let them stay. What is it? Come on. At the end, it's all greed. You're doing it to save money somehow. That's what it is. But there are a lot of different factors that go into it.
I had a friend that, before all this was happening, she was from Argentina. And I don't know what happened, if she went back to Argentina or stayed at U of H, or I don't know what's going on. So,
Yeah, man, it's a crazy time right now, 2020, and it's all culminating to this presidential election that we're gonna have here in a few months.
Trump. You heard about Kanye? That's ridiculous.
How have we not talked about that? I don't even care, dude. To me, that's just news.
I mean, I know why he's running. He's trying to take away votes from Biden.
You think so?
Yeah, that's why. Well, he's not gonna go for president. He's not gonna win presidency.
Yeah. You know who I'd vote for president?
He knows Trump knows a lot of people. A lot of Democrats, a lot of liberals love Kanye, young people in their 20s who are going to vote.
Damn, I didn't even think about that, dude. That's smart.
They're going to go vote for Kanye, take away votes from Biden, more votes for Trump.
Yeah. Well, apparently Biden's... Well, that's why, right? He has a good chance of winning, supposedly. Yeah. Kanye, man. You know who I'd vote for president?
And he supports Trump, Kanye.
Yeah,
so that's why he's all in it. And he ain't going to care if he wins or not. He's just there to take away votes from Biden. Mm-hmm. Crucial votes.
That's because everybody was making not jokes, but almost like wishing it's going to come true, right? There's people who are like, oh, Kanye and Elon Musk and all that. Hey, man, Elon Musk, he's a super genius. He's a great engineer. He's a great innovator. But that's my whole point. There are some people who are super smart that don't belong in certain areas. He would not make a good president, Elon Musk, right? He's a weird guy. Most geniuses are weird, They're not in a position to lead most of the time, So that's why everybody's like, oh, put him, put the real smart people in charge. It's like, yeah, man, well, sometimes being president, being vice president, being in politics takes more than just being a super genius, right? Stick to what you're good at, kind of. And what you're good at is innovating science and engineering new things. SpaceX, all these boring company he has, stick to that, bro. Because I've heard him talk, and because he does all these great things, people think he's a genius, and no, sometimes damn, that was kind of stupid, or that was weird. You're awkward, I don't know. I don't want to get into it, but I was gonna say, with Kanye running, who I'd vote for president if he was running?
Biden.
No.
The Rock.
Darius Rutger, man. Darius Rutger from Hootie and the Blowfish.
Rucker, bro. Now Rutger.
Rucker?
Rucker.
Rutker?
Rucker.
Oh, Rucker. Darius. I said Rutger, huh?
Rutger.
Like I was saying Rutgers University or something. Darius Rucker, man. That guy, if he ran for president, I would vote for that guy. That's why, yeah, man.
Oh, wow, now you're barely getting on the boat.
Dude, I've known Hootie and the Blow. Is he still with them? Are they still Hootie and the Blowfish?
Nah, I think they are sometimes.
They just come reunite sometimes. Not too long ago.
They released a song this year.
Hootie? You might want to, because that shakes a lot. It moves, messes up with the video recording sometimes when it shakes. But yeah, Darius Rucker, man. If he were running for president, for sure I'd vote for him, man. That is the coolest guy. I've been watching his YouTube videos, Just Let It Cry. That's my favorite song right now. Hootie and the Blowfish, Let It Cry, which is a 20-year-old song, more. He released that in the late 90s?
Mid-90s, I think.
Mid-90s?
Late
that's
90s.
A badass song, man. If he were to run for president, I'd vote for him. He has my vote for sure. He just seems like he gets it, man. He understands, So, Darius Rucker, if you're listening to this podcast, register, man. Register run for president, and you got Matt G and the G For Guzman podcast to support you.
Are you registered to vote?
No.
I don't think you have to register to vote for president.
Yeah, you do.
No, you don't.
You have to be registered to vote.
I don't think so.
Anybody can just vote.
You have to be a U.S. citizen to vote.
I think you have to register, bro.
No, I think you have to register to vote for like your primaries.
By my answer, my unsurety, you can obviously tell that I don't vote, right? People are going to get pissed off at me like, dude, it's your civic duty. You want to change, you make change, you got to vote, this and that. And hey, man, it's true. Maybe I am an enabler, right? But it goes back to what we were saying before, take care of what's in front of you. Regardless of who's president right now, I don't know. I don't know enough about politics. I don't know about policies. I don't know about how the government works, federal government, local government, all that. It's very nuanced and very intricate, right? So my whole thing is like, man, whoever's president, and I'm gonna have to deal with it regardless. So, and that's obviously a point we'll vote, right? But it's like, man, I just got to get through it. So, taking care of what's in front of me, I'm doing what I like.
We're at 55. You want to keep going?
Yeah, we'll end it in an hour, so we can post this on IGTV.
IGTV?
Yeah, if they're under 60 minutes, it'll take it.
All right, so we're coming up to closing minutes. What do you want to talk about?
Sleepy McGee over here yawning left and right.
What do you end it with? Well, I was telling you, we have to start making them a little bit less.
Well, these. So we'll talk shop a little bit, just to give a little recap. So we're going to start doing these probably a little more frequently, you and me. Maybe, like I said, some more people on this one. But we're going to keep doing videos with Mike at Mike's house, right? We got some guests coming on, so stay tuned for that. Got some people, got some stuff cooking. We just had to do this one tonight, man. We had to because we were getting stagnant, we were getting tired, we were getting lazy. And the more you put something off, the less you want to do it, and the more difficult it gets to do it. And I was closer to saying, hey, man, hey, we had a good run. It was fun during this whole pandemic and all that. But I was like, nah, man, we got to stick with it. I'm tired of not finishing things.
You're tired of being a loser.
I'm tired of being a loser. Like, well, Matt, that ain't gonna change. And I don't care who knows it. It's innate to you, right? No, so hopefully the angle was okay, guys. I mean, we're trying to set it up. We kind of set it up on the fly.
Wait, this is going on IGTV?
Probably.
This can't go on IGTV.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, it's like this is on. We're posting this. Like, no, we can't post it. Now we'll post it. And yeah, stay tuned, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully, me and Jonathan didn't piss you off or put you to sleep already. This new setup, the new angle, all this new, the lighting. Hopefully, I don't know. Maybe it's gonna be shit when we post it and whatnot. So, you want to end it with something? Say something.
Good night, everybody. No.
Good night, everybody.
Yeah, like you were saying, let's talk shop. We got this new set going. Up close with Matt and Jon's, a little same G For Guzman, but something we're gonna be doing on our own.
Yeah.
And just stay tuned and hopefully you guys watch these podcasts and, gain something from it. Even if it's just two idiots talking, two brothers talking, because I don't think we're idiots. But yeah, that's my ending note.
2 cents, yes, sir. Real quick, I did mention this book. I'm not trying to be like a pedantic, like I'm a book aficionado, whatever. It is a pretty good book. Almost through with it. A Severe Mercy. I just want to give it credit, right? Because I butchered it at the beginning.
Say it again. The quote, because I bet you nobody even paid attention to that part.
It was the very beginning. They should have. But the quote I got from here, well, I altered it a little, but the actual quote was, love not only begets love. Love not only begets love, it transmits strength. That's a good quote.
Explain that, because I don't know what that means.
Well, really quick, it's saying love, when you have true love, it also creates more true love. Like, if I truly love you, I'm like planting the seed for true love in you as well. What? Right? But it's saying it not only does that, but on that medium between you and I, that love that I'm sharing with you, my brother, in that channel, there's also strength. So I can give you some of my strength, right? Like when you need it, like what's that all like, what's that gay, right? No. Yeah, it transmits strength, meaning love on that channel of love, however that medium it's traveling to you, being transmitted to you. Strength goes along with it.
I swear, I'm gonna have.
It's a good book. It's a good memoir. Severe Mercy, Sheldon Vanaken, a story of faith, tragedy,
I'm not gonna
and triumph.
Read it.
Peter Kreeft. I saw some of his YouTube videos. Great philosopher, Catholic philosopher. Over there at Boston College. So if you guys want to check him out on YouTube, Peter Kreeft, he recommended the book to me. No, on the video, he said it's a good book to read. So that's why I started reading it. So check it out. I guess that's it, man. We'll see how this goes. We'll see if we get some good reviews, if we even post it. Hopefully we are.
Stop.
Hopefully post it. Drink some matcha tea, guys. It's really good for you. There's a lot of benefits. Do the research. Keep that temperature at 145 to 190. All right, guys.
All right.
G For Guzman, up close with Matt and Jon. We're out of here, guys. Good night.
Just let it cry. Let it see.